what are you doing? What's up? Guys, it's DaNelle from Weed 'em & Reap, and today I'm going to give you a little tour of the farm. I realized I haven't done it in a while, and we have lots of cool stuff, yo, so let me share it with you. I feel like I should do some awesome, like, Game of Thrones, dun, 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 you know, get it going there. First things first, we had this front yard graded down because we wanted the flood irrigation to come to it. And I'm going to show you that later in the video. But first of all, when we're planting different trees, we have to realize that there are different microclimates. This microclimate is, we call it hot as hell area in the entire earth because this is so hot. You can see the grass even struggles. So with that being said, we put a few things out here that could handle it. First off, on this side we've got some Barbados cherries. They grow really quickly in the summer and they do great in the heat, but they kind of got burned back a little bit in the winter, so we're bringing them back and we're going to do better next winter. We've got some Manuka grapes. These are really cool grapes that can be used for eating fresh, for wine, for jellies and jams. It's like an all-purpose grape. It's from Italy. No, it's from Spain. Yes, it's from Spain. And yeah, it's doing really well. I mean, totally loving life on our little grape arbor here. Everybody makes fun of me and says that this is a horse, what's it called? Where you put a horse, you tie a horse to it? And I'm like, no, it's a grape arbor. Get it right, you know? Okay, so here we've got our mulberry. This is called a dwarf mulberry. And I've kind of debated what to do with it. I could kind of trim these little dudes at the bottom and instead let this kind of just bush out at the top. But I kind of like the fact that a mulberry is a bush. I figure there's like a reason that a mulberry should be a bush, right? So I think I'm gonna leave it as is. It's kind of nice to be able to pick berries right here. There's no berries on it now. Berry season's over. This is a Jovita orange. Now citrus does really great here in Arizona, and honestly, I didn't want to have any citrus, even though it does really great in Arizona, because there's so much. Like during citrus season in, it's like January to March, I mean, you can walk down and just pick any kind of citrus. But Kevin really wanted our own citrus, so I gave in and we decided to go with the Jovita orange. That is actually a recommendation from Greg Peterson at Urban Farm U, and he's got great advice on different fruit trees, especially for the Phoenix area. This is my this is like my pride and joy. This is called a Pakistani mulberry. One of the biggest rules in growing a tree that's been grafted is you're supposed to cut any suckers that grow below the graft. This guy I might cut, but there are a couple over on this side that are above it. So I'm going with that, man. And they are just flourishing. They're just going crazy. The reason why I love Pakistani mulberries, they're like seriously this big. Like huge, huge mulberries. Those little guys on that little dwarf are itty bitty, and sometimes I'm like, it's a little like underwhelming. You grow this whole mulberry tree and then you walk out there and you pick a little handful. So we kind of positioned these three to provide shade because they all can bear the brunt of that hot, hot sun. So as the sun comes out over here and then sets, we've got these three trees to kind of protect. Then right around here is the fig. So this is a Texas, giant blue Texas fig, something like that. It's doing pretty well. It just keeps kind of putting out more growth. Back here is our almond. I think it's called the Garden Prince almond. I love this thing because I literally stuck it in the ground and it's been fine. Like nothing, I've literally done nothing to this other than water it. So that's how you know you've got a good tree when it does that. Or maybe it just means that I have some special skills or something. But that's our almond. And then we've got over here, oh look, there's our irrigation coming in. So I wanted to hurry and film this because we're getting flood irrigation right now. This is our desert gold peach. We also got this from Greg from Urban Farm U, and it is just gorgeous. I mean, look at it. Awesome trunk. It's chilling out. I expect it to get just gorgeous throughout the summer. So we've got like this little pocket, this like half moon of trees that supposedly will protect this area so we can plant more in this area. Now this one, this is my stick in the ground because it's not doing anything. I feel like this is like cursed land or something because these three spots, I kid you not, we've tried like 3 different trees. My best guess is it drains too well in in this area, and these young trees aren't able to kind of like get the moisture that they need, because this is supposed to be a peach. Yeah, I don't think it's alive. This little stick is supposed to be a plum. That's a plum cot. And as you can see, we put some cardboard up because that's what you do when you care about your trees. You put a little bit of shade up. I don't know, you know, I mean, sometimes just things don't grow well and you gotta learn. So we actually, when I mentioned earlier in the video, when we graded down our property, we did that so that we could get the flood irrigation from the very, very back of our property, bring it all the way up here. And that way it's water that hasn't been treated and it comes straight from the lake, super rich in nutrients, also crazy cheap. And there's Lydia. And now I'm gonna show you over here, my favorite part of the yard. I seriously come out here 10 times a day and just sit in my little rocking chair and just look in awe at this awesome spot. Everything is just flourishing and is awesome, and I'm so excited. So right here, what we've got is our avocado. And our avocado, now it's up to my chest, so that's pretty good. When we bought it maybe a year ago, probably half that size. So he's just doing awesome. Then we purchased a day avocado because the avocados need a pollinator to really do well. They can still produce fruit without one, but they need a pollinator. So we got this little day avocado, and then we got a loquat. I love loquat fruit. The hardest part with growing loquat is that they really don't do very well in the sun. And so you've got to create a place where they're gonna get lots of shade. So this spot right here, man, these 3 trees get mostly shade. And then they'll get some diffuse light. You can see how the sun's setting right now, and it's gonna get this light right here. But coming around on the side, we have got these strawberries. Now, I have been really into, after my experience with killing a couple trees and finding that if you find the perfect location, the trees just flourish, I decided to put my strawberries over here because I knew that strawberries like a lot of shade, so which this provides because we've got a huge pine tree above it. And then I knew that pine needles were a great mulch and a great prep for the soil, made the soil very acidic. And strawberries love acidic soil, and we happen to have very alkaline soil. So I thought, well, hey, this tree's been here for like 30 years. I'm sure that this soil's a little bit more acidic. And I was right. So this is just, these plants used to be in one of my raised garden beds, and now they're just like, if you look even further, you can see one of them is starting to turn. We covered it with netting because holy hell, those birds are pretty horrible. And these are all I think they're all quinals. Our irrigation also comes here, and it flows through the block wall, and it comes up and it waters this tree. And that's how this house was originally designed, with that in mind. So we thought, well, why don't we put a strawberry patch right here so it can get watered for free? And you can see we still have the hose out here, so we'll water every other week. It gets a nice deep water. Okay, so now we're in the backyard. This is my fail I'm gonna share with you guys. So I don't know what it is, but I have the hardest time growing watermelon. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem to take off like I want it to. So the grand plan in all of this was, again, to use irrigation. So this is the area where the animals don't go. So I thought, hey, let's do this. Let's plant 17 watermelon plants. Now these are all grown from seed, so you can see they're all around the same height. I mean, they've grown out there and they've grown out here a little bit, and some of them have flowers on them too. But they're not as big as I was hoping that they would be. I planted the seeds back, I'm trying to remember now, 2 months? Long time ago. So I'm kind of like irritated that it's not taking off. In fact, I'm a little nervous that it's gonna miss the growing season. I'm just gonna grow these like really pretty looking plants with no fruit on them. And then we've also got a little blackberry bush right here that's starting off. Then we've also got another cherry. This isn't the Barbados Acerola cherry. This is a, trying to remember the name of it. I might have to type it down below. I can't remember right now. And then back here, this is a Goldfinger banana, and this is a Kent mango. And they're both just doing great because we've got these huge shade trees that the sun rises over there, so they get some morning sun, and then now they've got this cool shade and they're happy. Everything's good. So let's start back here before the irrigation goes away or starts coming too soon. Chickens are like in heaven right now because they're so excited that there is water and now more bugs. So this is the back area I've written about before, where we want to do kind of a permaculture incorporated situation here with goats. We're really excited because it will kind of create the situation where we can grow alfalfa part of the year, we can grow wheat and even maybe corn, and the animals that are living in there will kind of fertilize it. So this is our irrigation that comes out of this canal, and this is how we water our entire area. We've got this nice big long canal. So looking at the back of our property, this again is going to be the goat area. The goats will have an area that they can come up to, but then everything else will get flood irrigated, so we don't have to muck out any stalls. So this is our goat milking area. It's kind of our old area. And then over there we have got more just kind of raised area. And all of this is going to have just lots of different fences and areas depending on if one mama needs to be with one baby and some babies need to be separated. And then we've got the chicken coop. So our chickens totally free range. They basically run their lives. We don't do anything except provide food and water. Literally, that's all we do. Where we live, we don't really have predators. We don't have cats that come in. We don't really have dogs that can get in. So we just put food and water. They go into their little dust bath, little chicken bath area. It took them a while to understand what they were for. And then this is the coop. And in the coop we have just the nest boxes. There they are, chilling out. You ready for bed? But when the sun starts setting, it's kind of an amazing thing. But all the chickens start to go into their coop naturally to roost. I always thought you'd have to go wrangle them up and herd them into the coop. Nope. This is our main pasture area. This means we kind of let our animals roam. We let the chickens roam, we let the goats roam, the sheep, duck, everything. And this over here where I'm walking to is, we call it our nursery. This is where we let a mama raise her babies. And it's really nice because it's right next to where we are sleeping and we can hear everything going on. Let's see if this little baby lamb is gonna be our friend. Hey, I haven't pet her in a while. She might get up and run. Hey, what are you doing? What's up? You're a sweet one. Most of the time sheep are super scared. She's not. It's pretty cool. We try to be really gentle, not to grab and be too strong. She's just super sweet. You're getting big. So there's her mama right there, chowing down on a branch that fell down today. And inside here, we're actually keeping both milking goats. So like I said, this is the nursery, but we also use it for little temporary situations. And right now, since the sheep just had her baby, and the sheep mainly eats grass, and the goats eat kind of half grass, half hay, we decided to keep the sheep out here, and so she could roam around and eat all the grass and have her natural diet. And we didn't really want the mamas with the baby lamb yet because they can be mean. They can, in fact, they can kill them. So we're kind of letting them have their own time, although they always hang out here, chat, I don't know, gossip about stuff going on the farm. These are our two goats. We've got Luna, and you guys know Luna. We've had her for a few years now, and she is just a rock star. She is one of the best goats, easiest goats to milk. She probably gives us a gallon a day. Then this is Penny, our new goat. We love Nigerians, so we wanted to get another one. So this is Penny. Penny and Luna get along great. They're both very docile, so there's not even really an aggressive goat, so that's kind of nice. And then over there, we kind of threw up our little milking area so that, and then we have a little crib that we converted into a hay feeder. So we've got this like little temporary situation right now, but in the future, I am so excited to be able to have an area over there where we can have the perfect fencing, perfect places for everybody. So frustrating. You keep building different fences and then everything falls down and then you gotta build something else. So there's our duck. This is her first time with the irrigation, so she'll have a blast. And then this is my garden. These are all my raised garden boxes. And I'm so excited because this is the best time of year when everything's kind of growing. These are cantaloupe. So we've got some tomatoes that are seriously way taller than me. And then we've got some smaller tomato plants here. We've got so many tomatoes today. It's like, I think I must have gathered like 20 tomatoes. And there's more ready to be picked probably tomorrow. Right now in the summer, it's time to start growing the corn. So we're growing corn here. And then we've got some carrots that are hanging on for dear life. They're kind of looking like they're not super happy. We've got a couple pepper plants, and then we've got over here, but right here is what I'm really excited about. This is our first year trying some bush beans, like green beans basically. And you can either buy bush beans or vine beans. And these bush beans are gonna be really fun because they grow really well in the summer here in the shade. We have another tree that shades this area, and so they're just rocking out, man. Got some beets here. My sunflowers are done, so I'm gonna feed those to the goats. Then we've got cucumbers, gorgeous, gorgeous zucchini. I just love it. I mean, you plant one zucchini plant, it goes nuts. See how this flower, it used to be a flower and now it's turning into a little zucchini plant. Crazy, huh? These are our potatoes. So we are trying potatoes this year. See, we don't grow potatoes very often here because, I don't know, it's kind of a pain. But I've heard with potatoes, you just wait until they flower and then that's when you can harvest. Or we might just get two, or we might get none. That's what happens when you garden. So that's it. Hopefully you guys liked this video. Be sure to subscribe and all that. I know it was kind of a long video, but I wanted to show you how we have everything set up. I get a lot of questions about how much acreage we have. Well, we just have not even an acre, it's under an acre. And you can see there's plenty of room. So you don't need gobs of land. In fact, we could deal with half of this or a third of it and still produce just tons of fruits and vegetables and still have animals and all of that. So I encourage you, if you're interested in farming and starting a little homestead, be bold, just do it. There are so many fun things to do and animals are not as hard as you think. They really are a fun addition to a farm. I will see you guys later.